There are a lot of people who don't feel like they look better with foundation on. So for those people, we're going to do a little skin tutorial. I'm starting with clean skin with moisturizer, and you're just going to grab your favorite concealer, favorite bronzer, favorite contour product, and favorite blush. So the thing is that if I'm going to go in and work on bare skin, I'm going to use something really creamy. I like these Cali Ray ones, but they're more of just brighteners than they are true concealers, so I actually like to mix it. This is the pink one in the shade Dawn, and I like to put this in areas of the face where I feel like there's a little bit of darkness going on sometimes. And then I'll go ahead in with my Milk concealer, and I'll just put this sort of in between some of those lines. And you can use one concealer. I just don't really have a perfect shade right now. I'm not this yellow and I'm not this pink, so these two are my cocktail. I'm out of my Dermatology SPF 41. It's sort of like a skincare SPF hybrid concealer, but that would be the one choice that I would usually use. But we're just gonna shape the face with this. And then this is gonna bring all the brightness, all the coverage. If you have any spots, go ahead and dot that on as well. And then I'm gonna grab my sponge. This is the Onesize Beauty, and I'm just gonna start blending this into the skin. I prefer to do this kind of makeup with either a sponge to really melt it in, or a buffing brush, a dense, thick brush, sort of like this one. This is kind of a really cheap one, but it's Amazon. I'll link that set. And then you just go ahead and push it into the skin. I like to do the under eyes first, just so that we can share that excess product, everything the same for each side. I don't know if that's just like a makeup superstition, but you know, I want everything to be even. Really, this is like the simplest makeup tutorial ever, but I remember telling clients this and they didn't realize that they could just do concealer. You don't have to have a full beat. You can be an eyeshadow and still skip foundation. And sometimes it makes you look more natural and a little less makeup-y to go in this direction when you're doing your makeup. Now we're gonna go ahead and take my Scrandie contour stick. Next step is contour, so grab your favorite one. I like this one and the Milk one. This was on for pre-sale. I don't know if it's available yet. It seems like it's taking forever, but I'll link both this one and the Milk one because they're both really nice. And you're just gonna place this everywhere you would place your contour. I do on the cheekbone, a little bit above, the sides of the forehead and the sides of the nose. If you have a very tiny forehead, you don't have to do this. But this is just gonna add some shape and some color because we knocked out our color with that concealer and now we just wanna put it back. I'm gonna carefully blend all our edges. And then blend out this nose as well. It's pretty unserious. If there was a foundation laid down, I'd go about it a little more carefully because foundation added layers make for more cake on the face. But when you don't have foundation, you don't have to worry as much. My favorite blushes right now are these Milk Jelly Tints. I don't know if I want to do the orangey shade or the pink. I think I better choose pink just based off of everything I'm wearing right now, the blue and everything. So let's go ahead and just swipe this on. And you will sometimes see me doing both cheeks at once, but to be honest, you should do one side at a time, blend it out. These dry, and once they dry, you won't be able to move them. Some people said they had patchiness problems. I still haven't experienced that, and I've been using these for a while now. I don't have patchiness. If your base is a little more matte, maybe more unforgiving, maybe you'll get patchiness, but I never, ever am in a matte, full coverage foundation. That's like my worst nightmare, to be honest. Now, when you're working on sort of like a raw skin like this, like there's not a lot of foundation to blend out your powders, you want to keep the powders at the end and you want to use them very sparingly. I'm going to add a little bit of this Kiko Milano bronzer just to show you. You're going to load up your brush. Make sure it's even across the entire brush because if it's not even on the brush, it won't be even on the skin. And we don't have the foundation to buffer it. So anything that you mess up, it's harder to fix on bare skin. But I start with my big old forehead. Again, if you have a tiny forehead, you don't have to add much bronzer there. You can if you feel like it needs the color, but Big forehead girls need the most forehead bronzer. Same thing with the cheeks. You're not going to take so much product on the brush. You're going to take just enough and you're going to push it into the skin. Push, push, push. I don't have much of a fake tan on right now, surprise. So I don't need too much. And the thing that I do like about adding a powder bronzer at the end of all of this is that it mattified the skin a little bit without having to put powder. I wouldn't typically apply powder on a day like this just because I'm going for a more natural lived-in look. I don't want something everywhere. You could add a dusting in the smile lines and the T-zone if you get very shiny. I'm not that shiny right now, and I don't expect to be, so I'm not going to. You can add cream highlight if you're into cream highlight, to be honest. I'm not. Now on my end, this is as far as I would go, and I would just add lipstick. This is my homemade lipstick. I'm so sorry. It doesn't exist in the world. Maybe one day I'll be able to bring it to you. But let's see. I wanted this one to be ultra pale. You know me. I love a trashy lip color. Some people don't, and that's okay, but I feel like this pulled the look together. In the skin, it looks like I have makeup on, but if you look very closely, it's very natural. The skin looks like skin. It looks like I just have good skin. If a man saw me, he would be like, wow, she just has good skin. They don't know. They can be fooled so easily, but really, it was a full routine of things. And if a girl saw me, she probably would think I was wearing foundation. You don't always need foundation. You can spot conceal and take care of that T-zone. The T-zone is what usually needs it the most. It's where we as women get the most hormonal discoloration and stuff. So if you spot conceal, you can have such a beautiful, easy, simple base, and it feels like your skin is still breathing. If you have a long day at work, you have to be out for a long time, and you don't want foundation gunking up in your pores. Concealer formulas are a little bit dry. They have a little less emollients to them, so I find that they just feel better on the skin throughout the day, and it's such a thin layer with more pigment that that it doesn't get all gunky if you have oily skin. I have like combo to oily. It's a little drier lately. I've been using so many acids. It's probably damaging to my barrier. But yeah, this is our look. Let me know what you think.